Okay, so listen, it's broadcasting, and there's a limit of up to 8 hours of broadcasting. So you got to keep it to 8 hours, guys.
I don't. These limitations are stifling.
All right, I'm gonna step away. I'll be back hopefully in a little bit.
Hey,
Have fun.
Good luck with the call. You know,
Thanks.
just like Elvis.
Like Elvis. All right. You're on your own.
All right. So, do you feel weird that he is still listening, though?
Always listening, always judging.
See, like that's what's weird. He's not actually here, but not gone.
Well, what was weird about that is, as you did that, the YouTube started, and I was like, "Why? What are you saying?" Because you would say it, and then you'd say it again. Then I was starting to respond, and I couldn't figure out what was happening. Then I heard myself, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, he's gonna pop in at any point, and it's gonna be awkward."
All right. So, who is here with us, and who's in the chat room? Say hello if you are. Hello. So, for those just joining, Ron has been pulled away for an emergency that he should be back for maybe in a half an hour. He is.
It's not an emergency. Let's calm down. It's not an emergency.
This is the problem.
He's not really gone. He's not really gone. He's just.
I have a work call. I'm sorry.
And the thing that happens is the little circle iFanboy logo pops up, and it throbs like the fucking voice in
Like Hal.
Yeah, in 2001. That's what I was saying, and it's weird.
So how's everyone? My legs hurt. Josh, what hurts today for you?
I mean, where do we start?
Besides your pride.
I'm trying to kick the acid reducer.
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah.
We'll
see how that goes.
So let's see. All right. So we have a lot of regulars.
What is the least amount of people that we will keep doing this for?
I don't know. Well, the thing is, where's the number chat? I don't see where it says how many people are in the chat room or how many people are watching. It doesn't matter.
I'm not trying to get out of it. That was kind of a joke, and it didn't land.
So what's on everyone's mind today in the chat room? You've got 59 minutes. Oh, they're behind. So let's chat amongst ourselves.
Okay. I feel like I was going to tell. So you haven't seen Arrival, so that's why I was.
I did. I saw this weekend.
Oh, you did? Oh, see, I thought I couldn't mention it.
No, I did. I saw it.
Oh.
I saw it this weekend with The Edge of 17. It did a double feature.
Which one's that?
It's the teen comedy one with Haley Steinfeld and Woody Harrelson.
Oh, I've never heard of that. I pretty much thought the whole time that I was going to see Arrival that I was going to see that one with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. I was like, right, and I was like, oh no, that's a different movie. But they're named like they name hip restaurants.
I'm very excited for that one. So I'm assuming we'll talk about Arrival on the show, on the year-end show. So, will Civil War II end soon, please? The next issue comes out this week. Is that the last issue?
Dave Marquez just tweeted the other day that he just finished. He said it's been 1 year, and I just finished. But I don't think he's probably not that far ahead at this point. So,
well, he's not. He didn't just finish this week's issue because this week is issue 7.
Right.
We're looking at it. This is issue 7 of 8. So next month.
There you go. Yeah.
Will there be a year in review show, Josh? Has there ever not been a goddamn year in review show?
Yeah, there will be.
We've done one literally every year since 2005.
Really? That's how long we've been doing it?
Yeah.
I tend to think of because 5 is
we did it the very first year.
So we'd only been doing it for 3 years or 3 weeks.
Well, then maybe the first year.
Right. Okay.
Full year. So 2006. I can go back and look, but we've been doing it from the very first year, full year we had a show. We did a show.
That's fine.
And that will be coming out at the end of the year, like always.
You make an excellent point, Martin. 2016 is a terrible, terrible year.
And also, we haven't recorded it yet, so who knows?
Well, luckily, none of us are famous enough to be dead because everybody with talent died this year who was famous.
Yeah. So. Didn't we do which G.I. Joe character Tom Hanks played in a movie before?
I don't feel like we have. I was thinking about it, and I haven't had an answer, so I didn't mention it yet. I'd like it to be like a low rent, like Cutter.
But which era Tom Hanks? Because skinny young Tom Hanks is a different G.I. Joe character than current 60-year-old Tom Hanks.
I want mid.
Mid, like
not Splash, but
not
before Private
Seattle?
Ryan. Yeah, so let's say like right up to before the Green Mile when he showed up with that huge face on the poster and like what would happen to him? Forrest Gump era. How's that?
Yeah. Like late 30s.
Yeah. And like let him be like Cutter or somebody who you don't like it's a cameo. He's not going to be
I kind of
like
want him to be Barbecue.
because he's got that mask on. No, because somebody would make Barbecue laugh and you'd be like, that's Tom Hanks.
I just want someone with a really bad Boston accent. Maybe like Mark Wahlberg should be Barbecue.
Can we just never see Mark Wahlberg again?
Let's see.
Mark, we got a new script. Okay, I'll do it. Whatever it is, I don't care. It's fine. I love these movies.
Have we checked in on Paul since the site got eaten? Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of sites get eaten all the time.
Yeah.
The site's not dead. They just got consumed into the bigger site, so they're still doing. I don't think he's doing it anymore though.
Was Arrival anything like the Warren Ellis
No.
Trees? Well, somewhat. I mean, there's definitely
I can't think of anything Arrival's like other than the fact that it's about aliens.
Well, the way that they show up is these big ominous things that just show up in a bunch of places and it causes the nations to fight with each other. Same thing.
They didn't fight with each other.
Yes, they did. Or at least they threatened about it. That was the point.
Sure. Ron and I are in a media blackout for Rogue One.
What, do you not listen to the show? How do you even know how to say media blackout if you don't know what they're doing?
We talked about it last week. The book explode for this month is this book,
The Rattler,
which I literally just finished reading 20 minutes ago.
So it must be worth doing? Or you just
it doesn't matter. We said it on the show, so we're doing it. We've already said it. So they were locked in. There's actually a lot to talk about in the book, so we'll be fine.
Okay.
Make sure you read the text piece at the end. It's not that long. It's like a page.
I don't even know if I can commit to doing the show yet.
Well, we got 9 days, so you better decide quick.
Well, either way. Okay, I'm in. I'll surprise you. It'll be good. This is the Hell Weekend coming up.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm traveling. I'm not awake. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
my legs hurt. I'm tired.
I've been an exercise of some kind that made your legs hurt?
Not today.
I'd like to go ahead and point out that it's impressive that you're still drinking from the graphically metal canteen. All three of us are always on the year-end show. That's a must. There's things we don't sub out for. We don't sub out for.
Not always. No, not always.
Haven't we all done?
Roma was on it a couple years in a row.
For me?
1 year he did it for you because you couldn't do it.
Why?
You hadn't watched anything. You said it would be. You said it would be no point.
Oh, 2010.
Yeah. Anybody who has just joined us, Ron is on a work call that came up in the last minute. He's going to join us a little bit later. What bad movie have you seen this year? I don't want to say because I have a feeling it's going to come up on the show, and I want it to be a discussion on the show.
I have to think. I feel like I actually have seen a lot this year, but I don't know what was released this year. I've also been watching a lot of old movies. We just watched All the President's Men.
For the first time?
No, but the first time in a while. Also, given.
Mike Gross says he wears the graphic shirt all the time. I actually just wore it a couple days ago because that shirt is magically soft and awesome.
I got rid of mine for some reason.
I
think it's because I got fat.
Probably because they were small. I used to wear mine to the gym, and now I wear it to sleep. I think it is really soft.
Yeah, American Apparel. It's good stuff. Yeah. That was the early startup days. We're not going to talk about the election.
No.
More specifically, I can't.
You're not allowed to?
I can't.
Oh.
I can't. I'm unable. I'm done. That's
all
I can say about it.
The only consolation prize Josh got for doing the One Jamoke show was an ego boost.
That's right.
No, I'm not excited for the Super Sons. What do you think, Josh? So I guess they're doing a Super Sons team-up book, like the Damian and Jonathan.
That doesn't sound good. Tomasi can't write Damian, for one thing.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, these issues have not been good.
This last week was the second story in that arc, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a spoiler. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
It was not good. I felt what about this week that I was more on the fence about the one before that you didn't like. This one I really didn't like because there was a ton of Damien just as a prick for no reason, and I was like, I thought we were past this.
Yeah, this was they had to work together. Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I found myself like, all right.
And also, I felt like they're writing Damien as hyper mature is not the word, but very independent and intelligent, but not necessarily mature. And they write Jonathan as a much younger kind of kid, so it just felt mean.
Yeah, Jonathan looks older.
Yeah,
which is weird.
But it's like an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old. The way that those two characters are written.
Yeah, that was one of my problems. I think they were supposed to be the same age. Damien's now 13, according to the Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like he's 13.
Well, that's because he's been around for 100 years.
And he also he showed no character growth.
Yeah, I don't like that, which is stupid.
He's being written the same way he was written. Morrison introduced him, and I feel
he's stupid with a teenager because, like, if you watch The Sopranos and you watch the character arc that they take AJ through, like every season they come back and he's a different person. That is more. I mean, not that they're going to do that in comics because that's not how it works.
No, but you feel like he's not 10. He was like 10 years old when he was introduced. Now he's 13.
But he's exactly the same.
He's exactly the same.
I mean, they got there. Let's not for a little while. Do you remember when Scott was writing Detective?
Yeah.
And Bruce was gone, and you had, you had Dick and Damien had a sort of an interesting relationship.
Yep.
Like that was kind of cool. That was like a correct arc of character, and they just have flushed all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that book. I'm not going to read that book.
No, I honestly Tomasi's fine, but I can't think of much that he's done that really made me very happy over the past since that first book that I really liked that he did. You had a really quick question. How do I find time to do stuff? I don't. I mean, I have to read comics because we do the show. And so after everybody goes to bed on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights, I mainline them, and that makes it less enjoyable. But that's how it works. Other than that, I fit things in when I can.
I think we should do an experiment next year where you read half the amount of books that you normally would read.
Mm-hmm.
See if you enjoy them more.
What's funny is that I keep thinking I should read them ahead of time because I have that option a lot of times, and I just never do. Because it's like work now, so I put off the work until the night that I have to do the work.
I don't do it because I don't have time. I don't do it because I'll forget stuff for the show.
Yeah, I don't worry about that so much just because I'm used to just talking out of my ass.
Anytime I read early, I forget details that I wanted to talk about, and then I go back and remember after the fact. And so
all the other books, though, I mean, I have books piled up everywhere because they come, and then I buy real books and
yeah.
I can't. I mean, I have so much stuff. I've read a few books this year, but it's really hard for me to finish any. I find.
Let's petition for 1 week off a month. 1 week off, no comics. How about that fifth week? No comics come out.
That doesn't work though because, I see you're saying no comics should come out because I took whatever that week that I was away in October.
No, I don't mean not do the show. I mean no comics come out.
Those books are all still sitting there. I'm waiting for them to get me on that nail me on a double week.
I have to do all the books from when I was off the show, which is now lined up with this week.
Right.
So I have to read 2 issues of Flash, 2 issues of Detective, 2 issues of Action. I'm fucked.
Somebody asked something that I thought was interesting.
Are you doing any Attack of the Clones minutes?
Yeah, I don't remember what minutes. My job on that show, I don't know if this is still the case, but previously I've done more minutes than anybody else, except that Radke had 1 more minute than me or something because he did a bonus one. And the first movie I did 2 different weeks because they weren't a big deal yet. And so now when they say we're doing our minutes, what do you want? I'm totally grandfathered in because I'm not a big enough deal to be on that show anymore, which is funny.
Right.
Because at first I was their big guest, which is hilarious. But I basically just say whatever minutes. I don't care, and especially that movie because I don't have any. But I did request, and I don't know if I'm going to get it. I said if you really have nothing, I want the part where Shmi Skywalker dies because she goes, "I love."
You could put a gun to my head, and I couldn't tell you anything that happened in that movie.
That the only reason is because that's a joke my wife and I make a lot. We were watching at the theater and laughed at that. And we've been making that joke ever since. But like, I don't remember anything else about it. It's listening at any time, by the way.
I'm just thinking about it. Like, I could tell you nothing that happened.
What I remember is because I got tickets to midnight, 8 a.m., and then 8 p.m. the next day. And I remember going to the 8 a.m. show that next morning and falling asleep. And then like waking back up and just being miserable. Like it was miserable where I was like, this is so boring. And then I was mad that I had to go again that night.
That's funny. Well.
And I think I did watch it once or after that, but I watched Revenge of the Sith once in the theater. I've never seen it since.
When was the last time you went to a midnight movie?
I feel like it was one of the Marvel movies here. Probably Avengers.
Mm.
I think it was the first Avengers.
We did a movie double feature this weekend. We were talking about midnight movies and how I think the last one I went to was the first Hunger Games because there's a bunch of girls that really were excited to see it. So we went at midnight and got home at 3:30 in the morning. I had to work the next morning because it was like Thursday night. Had to work the next morning. Was working on 3 hours of sleep. Passed out on the couch at 5 p.m. Woke up at 8 p.m. thinking it was 8 a.m. because I was so out of it. Mm-hmm. It ruined my whole weekend, and I haven't been to a midnight movie since then. Which you don't have to now because now they come out at 7 p.m.
Right? Yeah, no, that's what I set up on my Rogue One tickets.
But people I know, go, and I'm just like, there's no.
I just love that like you caught up to me. Like I was like 10 years ahead of you, but now you're like, oh god.
Yeah, it blew me up. No Ron stories because he's listening to this. He's listening with one ear right now.
Also, he knows stories too, so nobody's talking.
It's mutually assured destruction. Let's see.
You know what I did? We all watched Captain America yesterday.
All the first one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I showed them.
I thought they didn't like movies.
They still don't. Like my son was on the verge of crying the whole time, but like that he didn't want to look away at the same time because what happened was I've been playing those Lego Marvel games with them like nothing, and I showed them like a supercut of Hulk from the movies, and they were like, "Yeah." Like they were down with that, and I was like, "All right, well, you want to watch this?" And because we have to watch this before we watch this, I got a little bit of like that on them. I just wanted to watch Captain America again.
Sure.
So they're like, "Is the Hulk in this one?" I was like, "No, he's not in this. We got to finish this so we can watch the next one." And they got through it, and like it was fine. Oliver knew who everybody was. And then tonight I showed them like a bunch of like other Hulk footage, and then like the final fight scene from Avengers is on YouTube. Yeah. So we kind of watched through that, and they were like, "Ooh." And Oliver like, "I like this stuff." And I was like, "I know you do. I'm trying to tell you. Genetically, you're me, dude. The other one's not me."
You're going from Captain America straight into Avengers with them?
Yeah, I think Iron Man is too adult.
Yeah,
there's too much stuff in the middle that they're not going to get. Thor, I don't even think Thor was that good. Like, I don't know that they'd sit through it. I don't think it's that.
I'm just curious. I don't think
what would you do? Captain
Yeah,
America makes sense.
Captain America's the through line for the story.
I'm going to show him Iron Man 2? That's garbage.
No one should be subjected to Iron Man 2.
Yeah, so we're going to do...
Unless they're in trouble. Unless it's been bad, and then you can show them Iron Man 2.
Right. I think so. We're going to go to Avengers, and then after that, presumably you could do Avengers 2. I think the Winter Soldier's too much. It's not very...
It's too dark. I think it's too dark for them.
And then maybe Guardians of the Galaxy? Like, that's all...
They might like that.
Yeah, but that's later. That's if they like it. The way that it works is when we're not watching it, they say, sure. And then when it comes down to it, I say, you want to watch a movie? And they both get like, no. But my key is the little guy. He's not afraid of shit. He just thinks he is because the other one is. So I've been just like talking to him lately. I was like, want to watch Batman cartoons with me? He's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, let's go upstairs and watch Batman cartoons. It's cool. So I'm gonna bring the other one in through peer pressure and beat his anxiety.
Smart. I still haven't seen Doctor Strange.
You haven't?
No, I was thinking about it this weekend. I ended up doing 2 other movies, and just it's a time of year I'm trying to find movies for the year-end show.
I'm not gonna whatever it is I'm going in with is what I'm gonna have. I think at this point.
So I'm trying to load up on the prestige films for the.
You know what we're watching tonight?
What?
Color of Money.
What do you mean tonight? It's 9. It's almost 10 o'clock.
I was watching from the time the kids went to bed to the time this started. We watched like an hour.
Oh, what are you watching? I thought you were about to go and start it.
No.
Um,
I have never seen it.
God, I haven't seen that in forever.
Do you know who wrote it?
Yeah.
If you do, I'm going to be impressed.
It's not Pileggi, is it?
No, it's Richard Price.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Richard Price and Scorsese, and I was like, well, shit. And
I really liked it.
Tom Cruise looks about 8 years old in it, and he's really annoying. I was like, oh, I see. This is funny. And the whole time I'm just going, seriously, how handsome is Paul Newman? How handsome is he? My wife said,
have you seen the Hustler?
No, I'm going to watch that too. I assume I didn't have to.
No, you don't have to, but it's good in context of the second one. And he's even more handsome because he's young and he's like Tom Cruise.
Yeah. That was the other thing when we were watching All the President's Men. I was just like, look at his hair. Did they dye his hair? Have you seen the color of Robert Redford's hair in that movie? It's unreal.
That's a movie. Actually, I watched about half of that the other day. That's a movie where if it's on TV, I'll switch over to it no matter what time.
That's a great movie.
It's. I've probably seen it 40 times. You can't. It doesn't get any more boring.
If you go to IMDb and you read like the trivia about it, it's fascinating.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like we were at the Library of Congress when I was in DC, so I was like, oh, this is where you go and you bring down Nixon.
I was convinced that that they had to have shot that in an actual newspaper office because I thought there's no way you can make a set look that good, and it was a built set. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and
they had those deep focus shots that you could see the ceiling where they were doing their Citizen Kane bit. I was like, damn, that's.
And Robards is so good in it. Like everyone is so good in it.
It's really amazing.
When I turned it on the other day, it was the Donald Segretti scene. I love that scene with him and Dustin Hoffman. That guy's great. I saw Arrival on the Edge of 17 this weekend, and then Young Justice season 3. I am interested. I don't know what they're going to do. So I don't.
Have you watched 2 seasons of Young Justice?
Yeah, they were years ago.
Oh,
Netflix is bringing it back.
I see.
Everybody comes back. So they'll be bringing back your dead relatives.
Mm-hmm. You see me trying to explain to my kid that well, that's Hawkeye and he's okay in this, but he's not really that good. But I really like Hawkeye. They're like, what? I was like, don't worry about it.
What did you think of him in The Arrival?
I liked him. He had a personality. His thing is usually to not have a personality. He has that devoid of emotion thing, and I do not like it when he does that.
Yeah.
And he was a little more vulnerable and human here. I thought he was good. The problem with The Arrival, it's not a problem, actually. Everything I thought was a problem was actually a stylistic choice because it was French. And I was like, oh, it's French.
French-Canadian.
So, everybody, doesn't matter. Everybody, there's only 2 characters that were developed in any way.
Yeah.
It was the 2 main characters. Everybody else was completely paper thin. And why was Forrest Whitaker doing a Boston accent half the time?
I don't know. But it was only every 10th word.
I was like, who said that?
I know.
That. They're over there. What?
First time he said it, I was like, did I hear that right?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out who he was. He kept going, is he going to offer that guy gum? I was like, stop it.
But he wasn't even continually doing it. He just would do it every couple of words.
It was pretty weird.
It was like he knew how to do it with a certain sound, so whenever he hit that sound, he would do it.
That sounded perfect.
We won't be doing a DC crossover special just because this is a horrible time of the year to do anything extra other than what we already do extra. If that was happening April, different story. But it's November, right before or right after Thanksgiving, right before we are wrapping up, is not a good time for any extra shows. All right, so we are. Oh, we're still good. We're not even at the halfway point yet. Let's see.
The thing that I was happy about this show is that I don't have to prepare for it, and now I'm feeling let down by my own emotions.
Well, that's what I was saying, is that we should at some point start having conversation topics in case there aren't any questions.
Well, I don't think that we expected the world would implode.
Nothing interesting is happening.
Should I talk about my Warby Parker glasses?
Oh, those are the new ones.
Yeah. No one's ever mentioned them because they pretty much look exactly like my old ones, except they're slightly bluish. What is the DC TV crossover special? Are they all going? Are all the shows?
Yeah, so all 4 shows are crossing over next week. Not next week.
Are there currently 4 shows? Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow,
and Arrow.
Arrow's still on?
Yeah, they're all crossing over next. They're doing a 4-part story throughout the whole week.
Now, does it suck when they do it in TV?
No, they've only done 2 Flash Arrow crossovers, and they've been really good. They just haven't done this one, a mega one yet. So We'll see. It's a lot of characters standing around, so we'll see how it looks. Yeah, they're doing invasion. It's the Dominators are invading. What have you thought of the changes they made to Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow this season? I think they've both been. Legends of Tomorrow has been a lot more fun. Now they're not sort of chasing Vandal Savage. They're just doing the timeline thing. They're just going wherever there's a problem in time and fixing it. And that's more fun. Supergirl, they're getting the full-on CW treatment, which is fine because I like all those shows. Mm-hmm. They made Jimmy Olsen into a vigilante, which is dumb. Well, they don't know what to do with Jimmy Olsen, so they just move him off the show.
So let me ask you this: Are you watching a lot of TV right now? Has this been a good year for you? Because I'm not watching any of the shows at all that have come out. I watched a couple, and then I just
much more normal amount. One thing I did after the election was I cut any show that was like borderline that I was just like watching out of rote that I didn't have years into. I just cut off my DVR. I cut about.
What kind of shows were those? Because I feel like I don't watch any of these things anymore.
I cut MacGyver, which I was watching, hoping it would be good, but it was never good.
There's a new MacGyver?
Yeah, they've rebooted MacGyver.
Somebody said something to me, and I was like, there was some remake show that I couldn't believe that they were doing that, and that was the one.
Well, my brother Ian, who is the biggest MacGyver fan I know, I was talking to him when I was in New York, and he was like, "Oh, I stopped watching that." And I was like, "Really? I guess that means I can stop watching it because if he stopped watching, that's so." You
didn't want to be at Thanksgiving and have him
right? So I
mention it and then feel weird.
I'm trying to think of what else there was. There was a couple of things. I was just like, the guy who did Parenthood's got a medical show, which is kind of boring, and also I just read today that they're not picking up the back. Mm-hmm. It's probably gonna get canceled, so I cut that. And
I watched 2 or 3 episodes of. Is it This Is Us? Is that what it is?
This Is Us.
I did not like that, but I also didn't remember to go back. I think the only current show I'm watching.
You keep talking about that show, though.
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, I watch a lot of new shows. I think I watched 3 episodes of it. I still watch Modern Family. That's like the only ongoing show I watch.
Well, this is going to encroach a bit into our TV discussion for the show, but I think Blackish is the best sitcom on TV right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Definitely. You should check that out.
I've been watching. Well, I'm trying to keep up on the 90 fucking Netflix shows that come on. So I'm trying to watch.
I don't watch any of those, so that's how I can watch it.
They're better than the fucking shit you're watching, and they don't have commercials. So I've been trying to watch Narcos, but it's hard because I can't watch it when I'm doing anything because I have to read the subtitles. I can kind of get by having.
You can't do that while you're doing anything else. Yeah.
I've been watching The Crown off and on. I started watching Black Mirror, which is fucking dark, but there's an episode with Haley Atwell, so that's fine.
I only watched 2 Black Mirrors, and I was like, okay.
It was great. Well, Narcos is really fucking good, by the way. It's like you need.
Oh, trust me, I would love. I've got all 9 episodes of The Night of on my DVR. Like, I would love to have the time to.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm watching HBO shows. I'm watching Westworld. I mean,
Westworld's been great.
The Night of is like the best thing. You should stop watching all of those other shows and watch The Night of. That's the best show since Fargo.
I have to be able to watch things that I can't watch by myself.
I see what you're saying. So you go to bed
show
at
does
the
not
same.
apply.
You go to bed at the same time. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
But it's the earlier question of what do you do? How do you do anything? I go to bed later than anybody else. And I've been watching The Sopranos again while I'm working.
So
it's still better than anything else.
Eric Reynolds says there's going to be more Rebirth books in February, apparently.
I did not stick with Black Panther. Did you stick with Black Panther?
I have, but I'm getting to the edge with it.
My question when I saw a new issue was out this last week was, I wonder if it got any better because I was rooting for it and I wanted it to, but
not really. And also, they very quietly shuffled Stealth Freeze off, and it's just like, well, I mean, not to Chris Sprouse is obviously no slouch. She's great.
That thing that CJ person just said about The Night of is so patently wrong that I'm thinking about kicking him out of the chat room.
Can you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah. So there was like a couple issues where I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And the last couple have been a slog again. So with Black Panther, it's so deep. It's so deep in that. There's what we talked about before. It's so deep in that sort of minutia and history of the world that I don't know anything about, and I don't really care. I think you have some interesting ideas, but
yeah, no, I think that's true too.
I like the idea of a sort of civil war in Wakanda and what it means to be a king who's neglected his people by being a superhero. But there's just so much going on that he's not focusing on anything that makes it interesting.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I tell you when we were watching Captain America and the bully's beating him up and he stands up and he's like, I don't like bullies, no matter where they're from. I teared up a little and Lindsay looked at me and was like, you got to be kidding. I was like, it's a good message. I was like, this is what our kids should be watching.
Did you say it like Henry like that?
Huh?
Did you say it like Henry Hill like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a good message.
That's everything. I say everything like Tony Soprano now. What do you do? I remember the other day that I could do Roger Moore. I was doing it by myself, and there it was. When I didn't do Michael Caine, I learned Roger Moore.
I have not rewatched any of those Roger Moore Bond movies, and because I wanted to live in my head as a kid who liked them, and not.
I didn't like them then. I was like, I'm not relating to this in any way. I don't get that guy. They're all on Hulu now. I like that all the Bond movies just switch platform every once in a while.
Yeah, I have the box sets. I've got them all on DVD.
Yeah, but that takes effort.
The Timothy Dalton ones are actually really good. Those age better in retrospect.
Have we read The Second World War by Anthony Beevor?
The Second World, not. I've read his D-Day book, but not.
And you sent me that D-Day book, which I have in waiting, but my kids are going to have to progress before that happens.
It's a long read. Like, I really enjoyed it, but you don't fly through the D-Day. You dig in.
Yeah, hedgerows.
And you're in there for a while. There's a lot of hedgerows. Really slows the reading down.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, look what it is.
I hope you have topics.
Well, there's currently my work call is still going on to the left of me on my laptop, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So
that could be described through this conversation, Josh.
So I stepped away to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, let me check in on iFanboy, see what's going on here. But yeah. So.
Anything to add?
Have you read Anthony Beevor's Second World War book?
Yeah. Have you read D-Day about
Stalingrad?
No,
Stalingrad.
That's your guys' area.
Has there ever been a DC storyline called Stalingrad? Because there fucking well should be. Holy shit, we gotta pitch that. Hold on.
That's a good idea.
Do we still have Jeff Johns' email address? Does that matter anymore? Is he bad at email? Everyone, this is a secret. Jeff Johns is bad at email.
He's also not really doing anything with the comics anymore. So,
yeah, I play Sorry with my son pretty regularly.
Shoots and ladders.
He's never. No, we're past that. Sorry is much more fun. I have never beaten him.
Never beaten your son in Sorry.
No. He beats me and I'll have 3 guys in safety, and he's got 1 guy in, and he will get me every time.
Do you really lose to him on purpose, or
no? It's a luck of the draw game. I mean, when he makes a bad move, I tell him too. I'm like, don't do that. Do this.
I'm sure he loves that.
Well, you got to learn strategy. You got to learn how to think. I had to teach them how to think.
I think, well, Josh, I'm not sure about you, but Connor, you and I and Gordon have had some pretty epic Catan games. But I feel like that's such a cliche when, if you're into board games, I play Settlers of Catan. That's
a cliche among a very specific group of aging hipsters.
Yes,
to be completely honest.
That's like the Joe Madden, Bob Mould jokes that happened during the World Series. You had a very specific set of people who understood baseball and punk rock.
Yeah.
I don't think I've played anything else really. Nothing. We play a lot of the Skybound card games, a lot of Red Flags and.
You like that. You like that a lot.
I don't know any of those. Didn't you buy some kind of card game at something, and we were going to play it and then didn't? No, it was at WonderCon 2 years ago. Connor was showing me some card game, and you bought.
Was it the Skybound game?
Yeah, probably Super Fun. Yeah,
might have been. And I was like, that does look fun, but then we never did it.
Ron, do you think you still have your hero clicks?
No. When I moved to San Francisco, I gave them to Ed Luce, the comic creator behind Lovable Oaf, that wonderful comic, who it turns out he's a huge HeroClix nerd, and I left them
to San Francisco or from San Francisco.
Okay. So this
you went
recently.
You went back.
And I gave my whole box of HeroClix. I put it in Ed's file at Isotope, and he came to pick up his comics one day, and I got a very excited text message thanking me for the HeroClix.
That's awesome.
Nope. When I went to see Gordon the Intern a couple of weeks ago, we were going to go to a trivia night at a local pizza place, And they were really excited because they were like, you know all sorts of useless shit, and you'll be great to be here. And I was like, I kind of need Connor to remind me what it is I'm thinking of, though. And then nobody else showed up. So, because I know it, but I'm like, the guy with the mustache. It's like,
we did trivia night a couple years ago at a bar, and it's frustrating,
right?
Really frustrating.
It's a tip of the tongue thing that happens.
You're like, we lost because nobody could remember that the helicopter in Vietnam was a Huey.
I could have.
I know.
I had it right there.
I don't know if HeroClix is a thing. We're just talking about board games. That's the last time I remember playing a board game other than Catan with
When
Ron.
people say board games, what do they mean by that?
There's a whole
there's a whole thing that happened after I would have known about it.
There's a whole new adult, complicated, serious board game. Jeff Kanata's super into it. And
Jeff Kanata had previously until now been super into it.
I think he still is. Yeah.
Give it time. It hasn't had time for his life to completely torpedo yet.
Well, he has to. That's how he makes a living doing that stuff. Why don't they do a trivia game one of these hangouts? That would require a lot of preparation.
No, it didn't. We would just need to get a trivia game.
Oh, you mean like actually play it?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
We could just play against each other.
That's interesting.
We should do that. I think that's a good idea.
I have some Trivial Pursuits in my house.
I have Star Wars Trivial Pursuit.
And now Ron's saying he wants to do it. So all right, we'll get Star Wars Trivial Pursuit and we'll do it.
That's awesome. What duo? I'm pretty sure that if we played Star Wars Trivia, we're way better than we used to be.
Or worse. In or worse. The minutia of
I'm
actor name stuff and
no. Like you might be, but I'm way more in because you didn't listen to all that and be in all those shows. I know more now than I ever did back then, and back then we pretty much knew everything.
Yeah, I'd be worse. I would definitely be worse.
Yeah. Ron would just destroy us both. But there still could be one of those like whoever goes first might have a shot.
I remember in college we played it one night. I was a partner with Jared, who people in the chat room was Josh's roommate, and we played a bunch of civilians, and we never gave up our turn. Like as soon as we went, we played till the end until we got our chips.
That was like when Gordon and I were living in that house together, and our roommates wanted you want to play GoldenEye? We're like, sure.
I was there.
Oh,
there was three of us.
That must have been before you left.
It's like fun. And we're like, what are you doing? Playing GoldenEye. Can we try? And it's like, boom, 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 boom. All right, we got to go.
That's because for a year, all we did was play GoldenEye and try Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. That was what we did that year.
I have a distinct memory of that, of you and me and Gordon hearing it, going, are they playing? And then walking in and going, oh, that looks fun.
And we weren't even the good ones.
Flappers. No, that was good.
Yeah. But we knew it. Remember we would play it for like an entire weekend?
Yeah. We would order pizza. Pizza would just arrive at intervals.
Yeah.
That was the first time I read Watchmen. I was on the couch when I wasn't playing.
I remember that. Oh, shit, I can see it.
Yeah. I was on your couch reading Watchmen between games that I was playing. Yeah.
Did you skip the Pirates then, too?
Yeah, I did. And
fuck this.
I remember walking home at like 3 or 4 in the morning in the snow up the fucking mountain. It was good times. Good times.
That's great.
Anyone else want to hear? Did you talk about college, which was also like 20 years ago?
Oh, that was just in that town. That was a mistake.
I haven't been back since.
I haven't been back since I left.
Oh, really?
Back at all.
I went for the 5-year reunion. That was probably the last time
it felt like I was an alien. It was, remember because I went and visited where I used to live in LA? It was like that times 10. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have come here. I'm in danger of mission. Like it was just bad.
Well, even after the 5 years, so many of the seminal places we would go were gone. Just after 5 years, I can't imagine after 20 years.
I know that. Well, we got there. I got sick, so I couldn't go eat anything. Like I got sick that night, and so I was just in my hotel room by myself, and I literally waited. I've never done this before, where I just laid there until it was time for checkout, and I had to leave. I was like, all right. And then I drove like the 6 hours home or something like that. But I was like, I'm going to go to Rogan's, or I'm going to get a DP Do Calzone, and I couldn't eat anything. So I just.
Well, here's what's funny. Where's the booth says, I remember when I was in college, and I thought, this is so hard, and I'm always so busy. I never thought that in college.
I've never once thought that.
No.
I remember you. Did you do this? Like I scheduled all my classes to start afternoon.
No, I actually did the opposite. I did them all because my freshman year I was on the tryout soccer team, so I had to schedule all my classes in a block for practice. So all my classes ended by like 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I got addicted to being done at 1 and having your whole day.
But didn't you stay up all night? When did you sleep?
We were in college and didn't need to
I know,
sleep.
but you had to be up in the morning.
Yeah, it sucked. But so I always would try to get done early. It didn't always work out that way. I remember taking that music and the media class that was at like 7 o'clock at night. But I think everybody took that class. But
it's a good class. I learned a ton in that. But I still
great class. West Side Story. I actually think about that class all the time.
Wait,
and not just because I sat next to Mandy. What?
I took rock and roll. That's what it was. And the guy's name, I forget his name. Stephen Brown. Nope, Stephen Brown, and he sounded exactly like Jack Nicholson, or somebody's impersonation of Jack Nicholson.
Oh, you're thinking of a different class than I. But anyway, I always tried to take them early because then I would have the whole day free.
No, I did it the other way, where I would take them from noon to like 4. But that was like 3 days a week too. It wasn't. Yeah. The other thing is this: like he said, this is so hard, and I'm always so busy. College was so easy for me.
But also, we were also TV majors.
No,
it was
but
really
even
easy.
so, like, I was really, really good at writing papers. Like, I've never been as good at anything as I am at writing papers. If you tell me, here's a thing, tell me about it, I'll be like, cool. Like, I got out of college, I thought, I'm never going to be able to apply this to anywhere. But little did they know that I would be running a website about comic books for a couple of years.
Yeah, no, I remember, like, laying around going, hey, you want to go to Syracuse? And we go, okay. And then we just go. Like, that was college. Like, I don't remember ever feeling like I was super busy.
Never.
I miss it.
No, that was my time. I remember they like, well,
but you
somebody got
in the afternoon, and then you could still have a whole day.
I don't think I ever did. I had a job, like I worked on the weekends. You know, like I did that, but I never like partied though. I guess that's the difference. Like I had like a girlfriend and like I had a job, and I was always like this.
I worked at the dining hall, so I worked a couple nights a week.
The whole time?
For at least 2 years.
I worked at the dining hall. No, I quit the dining hall immediately because I was like, I hate this, and they're making me wear a uniform, and I didn't like that. So then I worked for the pizza. I delivered pizza on campus for the dining hall.
Yeah.
And then after that, I worked at Rogan's for a year delivering pizza. And then I worked at the shoe store at the mall for 2 years.
No, I worked 3 years at the dining hall. So I remember going junior year to the dining hall. Yeah, it sucks, but I would occasionally sub in for my roommate who worked at Subway. That was a non-intentional pun, and that was not so bad.
Set the I can talk about one topic. Yeah, it was. I was explaining to my wife the other day. I don't remember how the Maginot Line came up, and I said, when I was in the 10th grade, in my history class, I wrote a paper on the Maginot Line versus Blitzkrieg, and she looked at me like, "What?" I was like, yeah, I saw something about it. And I was interested, so I wrote like an 8-page paper on it. I got an A+. And she's like, "Why would you do things like that?"
Well, remember you and I wrote that paper for our final for children, youth, and mass media. We wrote it at like 2 a.m, the night before it was due. We knocked that out.
Yeah, in that same class, we got that was something like that. That same class, they did some weird paper on media literacy, and we didn't know what we were talking about because I remember we wrote it together. You wrote yours and I wrote mine. And
that's when we were putting jokes. So we were hiding jokes in our papers. Remember that? We had specific references in jokes and things. That's how bored we were by the end.
Yeah, but I remember that like a week later, and we had no idea if we'd done good or not. And a week later, she's handing the papers out, and she's like, "Well, somebody here got a perfect score." And I was like, "I who that was? It was me." And I was like, "You'd be fucking kidding me." So at that point, I was like, "Well, I've got this process now. Give me my fucking special rope."
Hey, Ron's back.
Hello. I wish I'd paid in college. I might understand what's going on this conference call I'm on.
Well, the point being, I was really good at that, but I was gaming the system, and I don't know how to do anything.
Are we talking about gaming school systems?
At college, I was really good at college. Not good at anything after that.
I just told the story about high school where I socially engineered my average to gain 4 points. That was fun. Because in my school, you got a 90%, like your grades, you didn't get A, B, C's. You got you got a 90 average, 95, 85. And And if you got 90 or higher, you got honor roll, which is like a big deal. And I never got honor roll. I always got an 89, like clockwork, always an 89.
This is a critical component of your makeup right here that I'm just learning about.
and so I started looking at the math, and I realized that if I went to at least 2 teachers and got them to increase my average by 1 or 2 points, then it would push me over the top to get me to a 90. But I said, instead of just going to 2 teachers, let me go to all 8 and just see how many I can get. And it worked. Like I'm pretty sure I got about 75% of the teachers to do it, and so my average shot up to like a 95. To the point where my dad questioned whether or not I hacked into the school system or not. Once, in a good way.
That's how hacking really works, by the way.
And then once I did that, I had to keep that average. And so I was scrambling every quarter I'm like, listen, I'm like 0.2 of a point away. Can you just give me 2 more points to my average? And it was a nightmare for the rest of senior year. So.
All right, so we have 15 minutes. Should we do like a Q&A speed round, or? I feel like we've been neglecting the chat room. We've been talking about college for the last 20 minutes.
Well, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Scrambling the Charm. That's a fucking great book title.
Scrambling the Charm.
I mean, you and I could both use that, but it would mean different things.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, my girlfriend hates that entire history of scamming school because she did the work and got a really good average, and I didn't. So
she is smarter than you.
She's the Josh of the group.
Yes.
I've not heard of Mega Games, although that sounds like a foreign thing, and you're foreign. Not in a specific way. Like, I could just see, like, if I was in London, like, come to Mega Games. I know that you're not in London, but, like, that sounds like that.
Yeah.
So, Ron, I don't know if you heard, but Josh is threatening to not be on the Booksplode.
Why?
I don't know if I'm going to have time to read it, but I'm going to try.
You're the one who suggested it.
I was trying to help. I didn't think I was going to be on it.
It was helpful.
I know. I looked over at the Riddler. You're foreign. When I say that as an American now, it's a whole other thing.
All right. Well, any more? We got 15 minutes. So any QA questions, chat room questions? Otherwise, Ron, we can ask you about college. Did you ever feel like this was so hard? I'm so busy in college.
Never.
That's what we said.
Yeah, never.
I think we went to an easy school.
No, well,
No.
But I was talking about this the other night. The fact that we were in a program that had the minimal requirements outside of our focus.
It's an easy program.
Yeah, I mean, I remember freshman year I took like Italian and geology and like stuff like that, and then someone's like, "Why are you taking all these classes? You don't have to." And I was like, "Oh, so
you're in college, you're supposed to take these classes."
What did you do then with the other half of your electives?
I was ready to graduate halfway through junior year.
Jesus. How?
Yeah.
Did you come in with a bunch of AP stuff?
Yeah, I came in.
I didn't even know that was possible until I got there.
I came in with a semester worth of grades from AP.
So, I had them, but they wouldn't accept them.
Oh,
I went through this whole like year-long process of registrar, talk to this person in my high school, back and forth, and because my high school we took college classes in senior year.
Yeah.
In Queens College, and I had 15 credits from Queens College going to.
Yeah.
Never took
I came in with like 12 or 13 credits from AP. I took AP American History. I took AP Government. I took a whole bunch of stuff.
So I do remember senior year. I took all my electives. I took like every 101 class I could find, but I was 4 years ahead of everybody else, so I would just ace everything. So that's how I got.
I took human sexuality. I took anything that was just like.
Yeah, that's what I did with Italian, because I'd taken 8 years of Italian from middle school through high school, and then I rolled into college and took Italian 101 and got like an A+.
So they wouldn't know if you speak Italian still in the chat room.
I can understand it. I can
piece together that in Italian.
I can piece together a sentence if I need to.
So you can watch The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And understand their pidgin Italian.
I know how to say I like pasta a lot.
Do you eat as much pasta as they eat on The Sopranos? Because they eat it all the time.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
do you still eat it like 5 times a week?
No. I mean, but I'm actively trying to eat less. You know, just in general.
Because you're old.
Yeah, but
look what's happening to me.
It's a general 2 or 3 times a week.
All right. Okay, so Saad says he's halfway through Band of Brothers. What are other good war movies and shows should he watch? And Ron, you can go back and hear the call for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop off.
Obviously, Saving Private Ryan.
Band of Brothers is sort of the show.
You're not going to find anything as good.
What do you think of The Pacific in more retrospect?
I didn't like it at the time, and I have no desire to rewatch it.
I've watched it once since then. There's stuff in it that's really good. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not coherent. That episode on the hero guy who's older than everybody, who's
Basilone?
Yeah.
Basilone?
Yeah, the guy who was what's his name on the first episode of Oz?
Yeah,
who doesn't age. Like I was like, wait a minute.
He was the mobster, but John Basilone was the Medal of Honor winner from Southern California. There's a part of the 405 becomes John Basilone Highway when you get down to San Diego.
I just saw the trailer for this is the war movie, the World War II movie that's out right now with Andrew Garfield in it.
Oh, Hacksaw Ridge.
Is that supposed to be any good?
It's getting good reviews. It's a Mel Gibson movie, so.
Oh yeah, I remember that because it was like from the director of Braveheart, and I was like, that's.
I do want to see it. It looks.
Am I allowed to watch that? Is that okay?
There's also the new one coming out, Allied with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that, and I was like, "Yup."
This is Zemeckis.
Yeah, it didn't matter. I was sold.
I was shocked to see it was Zemeckis. It's getting really good reviews.
I was halfway through the trailer, and I was like, "All right, I'm sold. Shut it off. You're talking too much." Like, they had me in like whatever the cold open for the trailer was. I was 100% down.
So what else? So Inglourious Bastards, Saving Private Ryan. Does that have to be World War II?
Just this war.
Glory. Gettysburg.
Gettysburg does not hold up. It's interesting, but like it's some plastic-looking mustaches. Like you could see the glue. Like Fury was good, although I don't think I'd ever want to watch it again. I want them to do like a Memphis Belle type movie, but now, like using current technology. I'd like to see a good bomber movie.
And also, I mean, it depends on your era, but if you can watch those, the ones that made in the 40s and 50s that were just a different kind of movie. I like those.
I've got those saved on Netflix forever, and because they're all like 3 hours long, and you've really got the best war movie of all time, by the way, is Paths of Glory. Just go ahead and put that out there. Sal Vitro's fate as heartbreaking as the first time Connor, do you remember Sal Vitro?
No.
From The Sopranos?
No.
Okay, so
I haven't watched it in 10 years.
In season 5, Feech LaManna, played by Robert Loggia, is driving around and he's with Steve Buscemi, and he sees this gardener. He goes up to him. He's like, my cousin has this neighborhood. You don't work here anymore. And the guy's like, what? And he just beats the shit out of him. And then Paulie's like, I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. He's like, I don't want to get involved with you guys. It's going to be a big problem. And he's like, no. It'll be fine. You just got to give me like 1% or 2. And so then now he's into Paulie and he's into the other guy, goes back and forth. And by the end, he's just destroyed and he's lost his career. It's very sad. He's the saddest character in The Sopranos, probably.
All right. So I have some more.
Did nothing.
Let's go more war movies here. So The Great Escape is great. Guns N' Navarone, The Longest Days, like the classic, big old Hollywood war movie.
I need to watch Tora. You know what else I need to watch? I need to watch Bridge on the River Kwai again.
Yeah, The Dirty Dozen, obviously.
Oh, good one.
Stalag 17 is really good. I really like Empire of the Sun.
I watched that not too long ago, but it didn't make much of an impression on me for whatever reason. And when I say not too long ago, that means in the last 10 years, just so I'm clear.
I actually didn't like From Here to Eternity.
Is that the one with the beach and the kiss?
Yeah.
I haven't read any of those books by Frederick Peters. I liked Fury a lot. It was really grim. And I said I don't think I'd need to see it again, but I was really impressed by it.
And then he made Suicide Squad.
Patriot's a piece of shit.
All right, we have 8 minutes. Any more QA from let's see, what else do we have in here? The Thin Red Line. What are your thoughts on that?
I remember being really excited to go see it.
Yes.
It was right after college. We were just getting out, and I was really just starting to get interested in that kind of thing. And I was completely lost. And I think that I don't like Terrence Malick. It's not that it's bad. It's that I can't do it.
It's really esoteric. I mean, it's just sort of like
too. Yeah, it's too. I want to say arty farty, but it's not a story. Really, it's not doing what I want them.
I thought it was really beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
He shoots really well, but
yeah, absolutely.
I remember being super excited for that very reason. I remember seeing it and going.
The cast is still absurd. If you look at the cast, geez.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know who Terrence Malick was at the time. I know I've seen Badlands since then. His tone doesn't do it for me. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
All right, we got 7 minutes.
The problem with The Patriot, not the problem with it, but the thing is that this is a history podcast I listened to called Backstory, and they did this thing on why there aren't any Revolutionary War movies or shows that have been any good. And they went through every one of them, and they were like, none of them are good. And they were trying to figure out why people can't make a successful movie about the Revolutionary War period. And the best I can think of is the John Adams miniseries.
Oh yeah,
that's the best thing I can think of.
It's really, really good.
I don't know why there isn't a movie about the Washington Siege of Boston or something.
It's hard because the costumes are silly and modern audiences will laugh at the wigs, and there's things that are difficult inherently about that period. I don't think that, but I've been around people who have had problems just taking it seriously because they're all wearing powdered wigs.
Oh, fuck that! It's so, but it's not that. That was the thing about John Adams is that they didn't let anybody wear makeup or anything, and so it was
they look shitty.
This is what
I think it's a great unmined subject matter in media. I mean, the fact that we haven't done anything around any of those seminal things since 1776. And
why isn't there a movie by fucking Jefferson? A real one, not that Nick Nolte one. This is a good question. This person has asked you what he should get his wife for the holidays. Now, Connor, you are easily the best gift buyer I have ever known in my life, and I am bad at it.
John Adams.
So what do you get John Adams?
I don't know. I don't know his wife.
Are you now that you are much more heavily involved in a relationship? Is it getting harder for you or easier for you?
I'm pleading the fifth.
Wow.
For obvious reasons.
What are you pleading the fifth for?
Josh asked a specific question about Megan, who I know is watching.
Oh.
I didn't ask about what the thing was going to be.
No,
That's
but
fine.
I know. But I kind of want to ask if it was hard to buy her gifts or not.
Oh, I see.
I'm a bad gift buyer. That's my point. And Connor is the best gift buyer right now. Always has been.
Connor's fantastic.
All right, so
he's amazing.
Is DC Rebirth working? Is it attracting new readers? Just doubling down the old
modest.
I don't.
I mean, what's working mean? Is it working on the basis of them getting more sales? Yes.
For now,
until they do it again, and then it'll keep working the way that Marvel's going to keep doing it.
Right.
I don't think it's bringing in new readers. It's bringing more. It's either. Well, what do you define as a new reader? It could be bringing in people who have lapsed DC readers. Well,
that's more. What
I don't think you require it.
Connor's girlfriend is a patron.
Yeah. Despite my protest, she's
all
a
of our
loyal iFanbase patron.
Yeah. Double shipping is losing me.
Double shipping is losing people, but
overall, they're probably still buying more books than they were.
Well, yeah,
if you keep more than you lose, and you're making up the difference.
And the thing is that the retailers won't. I don't want to talk about business again. The 3
minutes to talk about it.
The retailers won't realize they're losing customers until 3 to 6 months after. It's honestly it's going to be around probably January, February before the retailers start realizing what the effect of double shipping will be because of the 3-month order cycle and all that sort of deal.
Right.
The question is what are the sales levels going to be for DC come June 2017, a year later, and how much of the retailer. And the thing is, DC doesn't care about us losing us. They don't want to lose the retailers. And the retailers, they've got to order 20 copies of Robin Dies Again #7, because
say that they were selling 20,000 copies of everything, but then they start double shipping everything and they start selling 15,000 copies of everything. They're winning. Right. And that's what I think is happening.
Yeah, but they're winning but slowly dying.
That's been comics for
But I feel like it's really happening.
7-8 years.
We've been talking about this for years. But I really feel like we're in a deck chairs on the Titanic situation now.
It's really happening. Yeah, I agree.
In the past, people talked about it. I didn't think it was real, but now they're throwing out so many sales gimmicks.
Yep.
That it really feels like they're not banking on quality product. They're just banking.
Well, clearly that wasn't because the thing is when iFanboy was born, when we started doing this, like they were like, what if we just make comics really good? And it was this amazing, like, what if we just find the best people? And it was great, but even that only lasted so long. And they were like, but then someone was like, look how well Civil War sold.
Right.
Well, hold on.
Well, I think also there's a problem of flooding the marketplace. I mean, we joked about it. We joke about it on the show all the time. There are too many books and all this sort of stuff. If you look at the number of books shipped on a monthly basis this year versus 10 years ago, I haven't run these numbers, but I imagine that there's a significant increase in the amount of material available.
There has to be.
Yeah. So
Final minute
ratings.
What, the best kind of meat to put in a sandwich?
Roast beef.
Roast beef.
Actually, I could go for bacon because you can put bacon on anything and it will make that sandwich better.
True.
But I feel like bacon's not. I mean, bacon is a meat, but
you could also have a bacon sandwich. You can have a
It's
bacon
not-
sandwich.
True.
And you can add
Bacon's
bacon
so
to a
versatile
sandwich.
like that.
Yeah.
I bought sandwich pepperoni to just add to a roast beef sandwich, and I was like, oh, shit.
Quick, let's do ratings on bacon. Ratings.
5.
5.
Would eat again?
Sticking with it? Yes.
Sticking with it, absolutely.
What kind of bacon do you buy?
I still buy regular
Oscar
pork
Mayer.
bacon. Oh, like Applegate.
Yeah, I buy the apple.
I get
Sunday
the-
bacon.
Yeah.
Not boar's head.
Man,
I tried turkey bacon once as a concession to age and health, and I was like, "What the fuck is this I'm eating?"
It's not healthy.
Exactly. It's not real. It's not right.
It's not healthier. It's just more salt, and you're not saving anything.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like what you're supposed to be
Connor,
tasting.
Listen to me right now. This is
I
important.
went, I went right back to the Applegate Sunday bacon. It was fine.
I'm tell you, Hormel Black Label Thick Cut. That's actually exactly what I bought.
Yes.
Somebody put it in.
Yeah, I bought the Hormel before. The
That's
black
good stuff.
label.
Connor.
Just like Elvis used to.
Exactly. Someone did that. Wow, that's amazing. Smokedmeats.com. They only deliver in California. But why am I telling you this? I just said I was the worst gift buyer ever. I'm so sorry.
And now you're just telling him. My
I'm
God.
gonna write it down somewhere. Hold on.
I will be honest with you. The one thing I miss the most from England is the bacon.
Really?
Yeah, I love that bacon.
What was it? Did it came to the chocolate?
Well, no, the chocolate is a second to the bacon. I do like I prefer a not crispy. I prefer more not as fried bacon. Like I'm not a big crispy bacon guy. I like it to be. I like to have a little give, a little.
Like just barely cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like both. I can go either way.
Yeah.
I'm easy with
You
bacon.
don't want it crispy. You don't want it to crumble. No crumble.
Yeah, no crumble. You've gone too far. You've gone way too far for crumble.
You know what I just had? And I know that we have to go, but at least we have something to talk about now.
God,
So I went to a ramen place in Portland, Maine,
Yeah.
and they give you the option of extra. I didn't say what kind of meat was in it. I thought there might not be any, so I just ordered the pork loin. But it was a choice between the pork belly or the pork loin. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for the pork loin because I don't think too much pork belly could be a problem.
Yeah. But Japanese ramen pork belly kakuni is really good because it's super thick.
So it comes, and there in it is a hunk of pork belly plus the
Kakuni.
pork loin. Oh my God.
Jackpot.
It was so good.
Yeah. You're like
Apparently
you're like the commandant talking about the security at JFK. You're
It's bacon. You're eating it.
All right. On that
Midnight
note-
day meat.
I'm the midnight day pork belly.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. We'll talk to you next month.
Yes.
I don't even
It was
like
fun.
lunch meat.
Hang in there. Have a good Thanksgiving in the US, folks. All right. Good night.
Foreigners.